Hi guys, good morning. This is Roy, and for today's video, we're going to be discussing about freshwater generator. Freshwater generator is an equipment on board that converts seawater into freshwater for daily use. The main components of the freshwater generator are the condenser, the evaporator or the heater, the evaporator shell, the ejector, the distillate pump, and the salinometer. The seawater is supplied to the ejector by means of the water ejector pump. As the seawater passes through the ejector, the air and the brine inside the evaporator shell is being removed, making the evaporator shell under vacuum condition. From the ejector, the seawater will now go to the condenser for cooling purpose, and then it will be thrown overboard via the overboard valve. However, some of the water at the condenser will go to the evaporator as a feed water via the feed water valve. As the feed water enters the evaporator, it will be heated by the jacket cooling fresh water, which has a temperature of about 80 to 85 degrees centigrade. Since the evaporator shell is under vacuum condition, the seawater will start to boil at about 45 to 55 degrees centigrade. This boiling causes the seawater to evaporate, turning the seawater into fine mist and vapor. This fine mist will now be deflected by the deflector and will pass through the demister. After passing through the demister, the seawater vapor will now be converted into fresh water by means of condensation. The produced fresh water will be suctioned and pressurized by the distillate pump. Then, it will be sampled and analyzed by the salinometer. If the salt content of the fresh water is higher than the preset value, which is 10 ppm, the solenoid valve will open and will return the fresh water to the evaporator shell. Conversely, if the salt content of the fresh water is lower than 10 ppm, the solenoid valve will remain at its normally closed position and the fresh water will pass through the flow meter. Then, it will now be delivered to the freshwater tank or drinking water tank respectively for storage and daily use. Moreover, this type of freshwater generator operates under vacuum distillation process. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.